Recruiter here, the headless headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resume. This is a resume of a AI ML engineer, but those are actually two different jobs. I know that sounds kind of weird, and sometimes they can be the same one, but we really want to break it into an AI engineer and then an ML engineer. And the reason for that is AI is in a lot of different spaces, and ML is sort of a subsection of AI. So while an AI engineer could be an ML engineer, it's not always necessarily going to be the case. This person has a terrible ratio. It is 150 plus applications to get an interview. So basically nothing. They've got no interviews. I'm assuming when everybody puts 150 plus, it means basically like nothing. So they asked me, should they keep a number of good projects on the resume or every project? Good, relevant projects. If it's not relevant, I would not put it on there. So the other thing, there are a couple of things on this resume, and I did a meter yeet, and it was a yeet. There's a couple of things that were off. So one is you just don't have enough of the qualifications for an AI engineer. So I'd be looking for AI, LLM, NLP, Python, TensorFlow, PyTorch. Those are the biggest ones. Then I would be looking for like Cloud and NumPy, R, MATLAB, SDLC, CI/CD, DevOps, and then like, in fact, I can actually remove that. That was for an older one. So then it is like one of these, which is like RAG, ML, LangChain, Skibbity-learn, Pandas, Agentic, and then explain stuff to non-technical people. So those are what I'd be looking for, and I think I only found like 40% of it is a bit of the problem. So here are two real quick issues with this resume has. One, you misspelled intelligence, which people in my chat caught. I actually didn't. So while I'm not too much of a stickler on spelling, a lot of other people can be. So double check your spelling, y'all. And two is, are you applying for full-time roles when you're not graduating for July? Because that is way too far out. No one's going to hire a full-time engineer if they can't start within 3 months. Typically, for full-time roles, if you can't start within 3 months of you applying, they won't move you forward. So regardless of like anything, this is probably your biggest deal breaker right here, is the fact that you're graduating then. Now, unless you're looking for another internship, which I don't know because you didn't tell me. So I'm assuming this is a full-time job, but the problem I had here is I did see Python is good. I did see LangChain, which is good, and I did see LLM. That's good. And then NumPy and Pandas. But I shouldn't say one of these. I should say a little bit more of these. But I still need to see how you explain stuff to non-technical people. And I don't see any cloud. So that's sort of the big issue here, is almost every single one of them mentioned cloud and explaining stuff to non-technical people. Because as an AI engineer, you may be the subject matter expert. And to do that, you need to explain it to people that have no idea what AI is. They're going to say, oh, wow, AI, that can wash my car. And you have to tell them, no, that's way too complex. Like, well, I can have ChatGPT just make me a potato salad, and you're like, no, it can't do that. Here's what it can actually do. So that is one reason, is you just don't show me that you are the subject matter expert on it. And teaching stuff to non-technical people is huge. You always want to have that, especially for something highly technical. And there's no cloud. I would say that those two things specifically are the deal breakers for this. Now, on to formatting, which is actually way bad. You don't want to use this formatting. What formatting you want to use. Also, again, if anybody can tell, I am exhausted right now. And I have not been sleeping well, so these reviews may be missing some stuff, but that's, if you can get past a sleepy, exhausted recruiter who's working 50 plus hours weeks, then good job. You have a really good resume. So this is the format you want to use. All right, this is a nightmare. So again, this should be one line, and you can include the GPA, but I don't need your concentration or related courseworks. Then for the projects, nothing should be bolded. Stop bolding everything. Everybody bolds everything, and it makes it so hard to find. So there may actually be cloud here, and I missed it because of the bolding. Then each project needs to have 3 bullet points. All right? Like at a minimum. So I want to see, developed a web application using Python, LangChain, LLMs that generated AI short videos. All right. And then a little bit more going into that. Did you use stuff on like RAG? Did you use cloud? That kind of stuff. What else did you do with it? So I need a little more detail than this because these are sort of floating in there. So, that is the issue with this resume in particular. So, to recap, because I am exhausted, you misspelled intelligence. Your expected graduation date is too far off for full-time roles. You don't need the coursework and the concentrations. Your bullet points are too vague, and they don't have everything I need. I am missing cloud and how you can basically coach others on topics like this, because those are critically important. So that's all I can do for this one. And if anybody needs more help, you can always stop by my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST till whenever. And please like, comment, subscribe. It helps me out. I would always appreciate it. I can answer any questions. It takes me a day or two. And let's go to the next resume, which is, I don't know yet. We're about to find out. This is a resume of a business analyst. So this person has applied to more than 300 applications with this resume, but they did not get any interviews, and they need help as they only have 40 days to get the position. So this does mean they are on some kind of visa, which they told me about in chat so that I could help them out. And what they will need to do specifically is, as they are on a visa, is they need to, instead of okay, thank you, computer. Instead of this section, below that, in between these two sections, sorry, I'm still so tired, y'all. You're going to have a thing that says how we can work with your visa. So everybody puts a summary in their resume, and you don't want to do it unless there are three things. 3 reasons why you do actually want a summary. 1, you are relocating. If at any point you need to relocate, you need to put a summary that shows when you will be relocating to that area. Otherwise, they will probably toss your application. 2, if you are switching industries, and I don't mean like a software engineer Python to a software engineer Java, I mean like a plane mechanic into a medical doctor, right? So something wildly different. You will need to explain that you are switching industries. And 3rd, if you are on a visa, you will need to state what kind of visa it is so that we know, not what kind of visa it is. You need to tell us how we can work with your visa, because a lot of recruiters are not trained on it, and there is a difference between an H-1B and an OPT and a TN and all the other ones, and they are going to assume they just can't work with it, but they might actually be able to, they just don't know. So if you were going to have to explain to them how they can work with your visa, because an H-1B can cost an additional $10K, an OPT could not. Again, I am not a lawyer, but you will need to tell us how we can do that. So those things are definitely hurting them. Now let's go to the actual qualifications, because that is more generally useful for everybody as well. So even with a visa, 300 and no interviews is not good. On average, as a visa candidate, you will probably have to do 3 times as many, but that still is implying at least a bare minimum of it takes you 100 to get an application. So we want to actually do it so that you get about 75 applications to an interview. And we are way not there yet. So what I'm going to be looking for in a business analyst, and I updated this recently, so this should still be true in the US, is SQL, Tableau, Power BI, and your industry. Again, industries can change. I cannot put every single industry on there. Then I want to know that you can work cross-functional from IC to stakeholders and managers, basically from the lowest person in the company to the very highest person in the company, and external vendors as well if needed. Multitask projects and explain complex topics to non-technical people. Data sets, just the word data sets. MS Office, you absolutely need this. You 1,000% need this. I will brook no arguments about this. You need this in your resume. So Excel, like advanced, maybe you want to put pivot tables and VLOOKUP as well, or macros. Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, R, Python, SAP, Power Query, or Access Agile. So this person is in the chat, but I'm going to review this and then afterwards go help them a little bit more. So, analyzed 11 million. I don't know if I care about 11 million. Using SQL, I mean, that part's good. Like, you could have just stated analyze shopping entries using SQL and AWS. Applying funnel analysis, checkout, reducing cart abandonment rate. So here's the thing. I don't know why this is important. and this is a bit of a problem. Is this important? Probably, but I don't know how important it is. Utilized Excel to perform gap analysis, identifying bottlenecks, so that part's okay. It's just, I want you to instead say, like, what did you do, right? Like, here's a bit of an issue, is your very first sentence still needs to include qualifications, but it needs to describe what you do. Like, your overarching job. So, I would say you should instead say, as a business analyst, I solved companies' problems or whatever, like solved companies' problems using SQL, Excel, if you look up that, and AWS or whatever it is, or MS Office. Again, I don't know what you did and then you can put like reducing cart abandonment rates, removing bottlenecks, and assisting stakeholders, right? Like, I need an overarching duty, but you immediately start out with analyzed 11 million shopping entries using SQL. So is it good that you add SQL in AWS? Yes, it is. But, like, I don't know why that's important. I need to know the context for that, because it's possible that the recruiter doesn't. So utilized Excel, again, good. Pivot tables and VLOOKUPs. I would say if we can put macros, that would be good. Macros are pretty good. To perform gap analysis, I don't know if they care about that. Gap analysis, I don't think they do. Of digital in-store users identifying bottlenecks with. See, this part is fine, but then you fill it with this. Leverage. Stop using leverage. Just say used. I personally hate the word leverage, but I don't count it against it. 10 plus dashboards. And again, the volume of dashboards is not here. Did you create these? Because this is the part where it's like you leverage them, but I don't need to know that. Did you create? Because, like, I just want to know, created Tableau dashboards using Python-based ML models to help our stakeholders make decisions quicker, right? Because I don't know what optimize product portfolio and accelerate decision-making. That's kind of extra fluff. Manage multiple projects in collaboration with stakeholders. And again, we're not really, like, how many projects. So this is something that can go in your summary too. Like this sentence, right, is how many projects did you manage at once? Like, managed 15 projects in collaboration with stakeholders where I did X and Y. Like, that is what you want to put for your first one. But, like, this is the one time I actually need the numbers and you didn't give it to me. And then I don't care about necessarily, maybe they will care about the locations. Maybe they will. Maybe that is an industry specific thing. Authored business and functional required documents. I don't think they're asking for that. Aligning 5 cross-functional stakeholders. Again, I don't need to know the number of those stakeholders. I just need to know that you did it. And that's okay. And then this is nothing. So part of your problem is I don't even have everything I need up here. And it's filled with a bunch of nonsense that I don't need. So I do understand people may not count experience outside the country. Sometimes they do that. But even here, I think I'm missing stuff. Like, did I see PowerPoint? I don't see PowerPoint. Where's Outlook? Word? Did I see it? No. Python I did see. SAP. Did I see? I did see SAP. Oh, here it is. MS Office. See, I missed it because there's so much junk in the way. Was this an Agile? I don't know. You didn't tell me that you could multitask projects. I know you said managed multiple, but this is the one time I actually needed a number. Did you do data sets? Probably. Did I miss it? That's okay. Let's see. And I don't see how you can kind of explain stuff to them. So you kind of only have about 50% of what I need. And you fill this with a bunch of stuff that I'm not looking for. I don't know if I've ever seen them ask for a functional required business documents. I don't know if I've seen them ask for, cart abandonment rates or whatever RCI RTM is. Oh, here's Agile. I didn't even get it. SDL. Wait, so this is software development lifecycle. This was the software side? I am so confused by what you do. I have read all of this, and I don't know what your job was. I need you to make a real quick sentence here that has some of the qualifications that tells me your overarching duties, because I don't know what that is. And I have read through all of these. I assume you've made dashboards. I assume you solved cart abandonment rates, but I don't know where you fit it into the overarching business. And they may read that and say, well, they have Excel and VLOOKUP, but what we're looking for is a business analyst, and this doesn't seem like they've done business analyst stuff. So again, you don't have all the qualifications, and you filled your resume with a bunch of stuff that we don't care about, and I don't know what you do. I don't. And you need to explain that. So you're in chat, so I'm going to go actually look at that and help you out a bit now. But for everybody else, we're going to the next resume. This is a resume of another business analyst, which I actually had to update more qualifications for. So this should be even more accurate, and it should be the most accurate of it. This is also why I try to teach people how to find the qualifications for themselves, because if you do it right, which I can teach you how to do, you should have a higher accuracy than me, since, again, I have to do 20 million different industries, and you will have your head to the pulse a little bit faster. So what we're going to be looking for a business analyst is SQL, Tableau, Power BI, industry. Microsoft Office. This was in almost every single one. PowerPoint, Outlook, Excel, Word, and I'm going to add Jira to that because Jira is needed. Requirement gathering and documentation. That was big. Almost every single one had it. Cross-functional from IC to stakeholders. Explain complex topics to non-technical people. Meet multiple deadlines concurrently. And Agile. That should be Scrum or Waterfall. So the big thing to note here is the industry is going to change stuff a lot. If you're doing like software, you're probably going to want to have SDLC and Python. If you're doing grocery store stuff, you're going to want something different. So I can't get all of this. But if this is in IT, then you will want like Python, R, and again, the SDLC. So industries matter. All right, let's see. So, good. I don't really see a problem with this. Well, the formatting's slightly off, I will say. And we don't know what this person's ratio is, but the formatting is slightly off. So again, I want it to look like this. My theory is that even if this is Arial, it is not 10.5. You want everything here to be 10.5 Arial. As an example, this is what it should look like, and this is where you should do it, is everything below here is 10.5, and the spacing is 1.5. I don't think the spacing is 1.5 here. That's what I think the error is. Not the biggest issue, but it does, again, makes it easier to read. So, can we find what we're looking for? Let's try and do this in 20 seconds. Also, they are in chat. Do we know your ratio or not? It would help very much to know how good or bad this is working. So, let's go. Survey data, good. Excel, Power BI, pretty solid. Clean data sets in Excel. You already mentioned that. Don't really need that. Straight up Power BI. Okay. Don't need that. Python and R, maybe. Again, depends. I don't think I need Docker. SQL, I would need. Cloud, I could. So yeah, would I go forward with this? No, but I don't think it's the worst. I'm expecting this to get you a couple of interviews, but not a ton. So, a couple of problems with this is it's the same issue as the last resume, is you put in a lot of stuff we're not needing. Excel, Power BI, good. Delivering insights for higher education stakeholders, good. I don't know if you need to say higher education. You could just say for stakeholders. So you could just, delete this part. But conducted large-scale survey data analysis using Excel and Power BI, delivering insights for stakeholders is a fine first sentence. Then we get to here is clean data set. There are some roles that we do want to see clean the data. I don't know what those mean, but those roles I think are data engineers specifically. That's more like ETL. Some Python roles, but not all of them, and maybe data scientist. Maybe. So I don't think for a business analyst we need cleaned the data set. And here's a bit of a problem. You already mentioned Excel. it's okay to mention it here and here, but you don't want to double up in the same role. So that is a bit of a problem. Pivot tables, okay. Again, that's okay. But I need more than this. This whole sentence could probably be deleted. Simplify complex technical insights using data storytelling techniques. Good. With Power BI dashboards. So normally I would say don't double up. But I did like how you focused back to this. So this one I think is an exception to that rule. So this is fine. Enabling non-technical stakeholder to make faster data-driven decisions. In fact, can you combine these? I think these might be combinable. But like conducted large-scale survey data analysis using Excel to simplify complex data with Power BI dashboards, enabling non-technical stakeholders to make data-driven decisions faster. Like, I feel like you could combine this one and this one, and it would probably be a better first sentence. Then this, again, you already mentioned it. So, this one, if you're going for SDLC, the Python and R matter. Otherwise, it may not. PostSQL, and yeah, so just you need a little bit more, a little bit faster. And again, I think you said you was trying to fit everything into one page. It's okay to not have everything in one page. It's okay to not have everything in one page. That is okay. I want everybody to know that the most important part of your resume is this part, what you can see right now. Anything after that doesn't really matter. Now, would it be weird if you had 1 year of experience and you had 20 pages? Yes. But unless it's that extreme, you could have 5 pages, you could have 1 page, you could have 2 page. And for some people in scientist positions, they need longer resumes. They have to put in their like PhDs and their papers they published, and those are going to be a little bit longer. So again, don't worry about fitting it into 1 page. Don't worry about that. Worry about making sure that I can find what I need in this half of your resume. Because everything else is gravy. And again, I am having trouble finding everything I need. I think Microsoft Office is down here, but because of the formatting, I might not even get to that. SQL, I found all the way down here. Python, again, and R could be useful depending on the industry. But I didn't see any Jira. I didn't see any requirements gathering. And I didn't see meeting multiple deadlines concurrently. Now, you may not have that as a student, and that's okay. But I did see stakeholders management, which was good. I did not see most anything else. So again, you had Tableau, you had Power BI, you had Excel, you had a good sentence on non-technical details to stakeholders, and I think that might be it. Maybe Python and R, depending on it. Did I already go over that? I'm so tired. Yeah, and that's all I could really find. So, could I move you forward? Probably not. But I don't think it's going to take a ton to add some of this stuff, because you're very close to how I would like it to be written. So, let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a data analyst. The next one I don't think is a data analyst. This is a very analyst-heavy review episode. Was not intentional, just happened that way. So what we're going to look for in a data analyst, which is slightly different, and it looks like I misspelled a lot of stuff here, is degree, industry. Again, the industry can change stuff. Like if you're going into software versus medical, they're going to have some different qualifications. SQL, data visualization, so Tableau, Power BI, Looker. Less so on Looker. I've seen it like once or twice. Oh, my entire computer is crashing. Hold on. So I've only seen it once or twice. There we go. That fixed. Stakeholders. This is huge. Explaining technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders. I need people to explain it, because again, they don't know how you solved problems with data, not necessarily how you did stuff that was amazing with the data. So when I say that, what I'm saying is like use data to solve world hunger instead of used an XYZ formula of potato farming theory to hyperfixate the hunger solution. So remember, I'm not necessarily asking how you use the data, or how you got the data. I'm asking how you solve stuff with the data. Industry, which I put twice for some reason. MS Excel, macros, pivot tables, VLOOKUP, Word. Python, R, multiple projects and deadlines. If you see a similarity, that's because there are some. So, let's look at this. Can we do it in 20 seconds? Let's find out. SQL, Excel, good. So data analysis, health insurance records, good. Built automated Python, okay, maybe good depending on the industry. For real-time KPI, this is too late in there. KPI is first. Partner with stakeholders across forward integration, ultimate SAP data, saving manuals, conducted HIPAA analysis. I think this is a lot better. Is this a pass? Let me find out. So I only got to here because it was a little too technical. I got to here basically. So what did I find? I found the degree. Good. I found the industry, which was health records. Good. I found SQL, which was good. I found Excel, which was good. I don't know if I did find cloud, but that's a bonus, so that's nice. And I did see Power BI, so that's good. That's 5. And I saw partnered with stakeholders across 4 subjects to enhance risk assessment, 6. Is that enough? I think this is on the edge of being a yes or no, and depending on what they would want for the industry is if I would move forward with it. So, part of the problem here, and again, this is much better than last time, because I think this is like this person's second or third time submitting, is the use of numbers. So, is HL7 something they would look for? I don't know. I don't know if that's in the industry or not. If it is something and it is an industry-specific healthcare, you want to put it in. But where you start losing me is by 27%. You don't actually have to say the percent. You could just say reduced analysis on health insurance records, 2, and then you don't have to say this. It's just to reduce claim rejections and I guess accelerate reimbursements. So that way you can have your cake and eat it too. Unless HL7 is, again, specifically an industry thing, which I don't know because I'm not that in-depth into every industry. Then build automated Python. Again, good. Pandas, OpenPX. Maybe good. Again, this is where it kind of depends on the industry. Are they looking for this stuff or not? And I don't know. I'm going to lean towards no. With AWS, good. I don't know if I need S3. That might be too much info, but I don't think it's terrible to have it. To eliminate repetitive tasks and includes claims by claims processing and develop power. So here, I would rewrite this personally. I think the developed Power BI dashboards for real-time KPI monitoring using Python scripts and AWS to eliminate repetitive tasks is probably a stronger sentence than this. I think what's better is down here. Partner with stakeholders across 4 projects. I like this is good. As a SME, gosh, I hate saying this. You probably want to just write out subject matter expert. They may not know. To enhance risk assessment, automate SAP. And this is where you sort of lose me. So remember, I'm not necessarily looking for the hours saved by number. I'm looking for the reason. So you could say partner with stakeholders across 4 projects as the, I guess, data expert to save those stakeholders hours of manual effort weekly. Again, you can state how you helped without going into the percentages and numbers. It's okay. Because they may not know if that's important or not. That one is okay. Again, I don't think that's a terrible one. I'm being kind of picky here. But because this is your 3rd or 4th go, I think it's your 3rd, I'm going to be extra picky. So conducted HIPAA. Also, you don't need these lines under here. There we go. That's another one. HIPAA security risk assessments. This is probably an industry one they'd want. But again, I can't confirm. But then the rest of this, I don't know if I need. This could be, again, the problem is the industry here I don't know enough about. But I think this is okay at least. So what I would like more is, we need to make this a little bit better. Is, again, your Microsoft Office should probably be higher up. We have the Power BI, we have the industry, we have the stakeholders, we have the non-technical. You almost state how you did the data. Again, I want you to state, like, using data here, make it very clear. We have Excel. Do we have Word all the way at the bottom? But again, you can put that in MS Excel. Do we have multiple project deadlines? We have cloud. So yeah, you're closing in on a much better resume. You just need to, again, tighten it up. And remember, it's okay to have a percentage, but they have to be understandable to the layman. And reducing claim rejections by 27% may not be it. Because if you look at this one, this is a great brag, right? I know what you want to do is you want to show how good you are, which I don't recommend, but some people want to do it anyway. So, is handled a large lunch rush line by providing customer service and multitasking while making their food, which resulted in multiple 5-star reviews on our Google page mentioning me by name. That is understandable to a layman. You did not say increased our Google review by 30%. You did not see multiple 14.2 reviews. All I stated was there were multiple reviews that mentioned me by name, which implies to the layman that you were good enough that somebody wrote a review about you. So if you're writing stuff like that, I want you to take a look at how I wrote it here. Because again, people say like 13% and 20%, and they don't know the data. You know, they need to know increased, sure, but like you need to explain why that's good. And this is understandable to a layman. This, not as much. This, maybe. This one is probably better because people can understand hours of work. So that's all I can do for this one. Let's go to the next one, which is probably not going to be a data analyst. We don't know. We're going to find out. This is a resume of a graphic designer. All right, this person put a lot. So they said, saw your feedback on a Reddit post. I thought I'd reach out. They've been a graphic designer for about 20 years. I'm applying as a senior graphic designer, but could you cover everything from branding, packaging, material, digital motion, videos? Maybe. Typically, I can only cover one thing because resumes are very specific. Otherwise, it would be like 3 hours on the same resume, and I would cry. So, and I'm tired. The trend for graphic design job listings throw most or sometimes all those skills to find their unicorn. Yeah, AI has pretty much decimated a lot of graphic design. Let's see. So got a habit of tailoring resumes based on the job listing. No, bad. That's actually what you don't want to do using ChatGPT to tweak it, which is actually really bad. You don't want to change your resume for each job. That is how you get more declines, which, considering this person has 150 plus ratio, which is basically anywhere from takes them 150 to get a single interview to 500 for no interviews. I know my resume is a bit text heavy. Yes, it is. But recruiters have told me the formatting makes it easier to scan. They are wrong. They are wrong. I will dispute those recruiters. I would like to talk to them. As a designer, I want it to look great, but I've had to rework it to be more ATS friendly. That is not how ATSs work in general. It's first come, first serve. As long as your resume is in a PDF or Word document format, you are fine. If it's a JPEG, it may not work. And again, the Google version of Word as well works. I just never remember its name. Let's see. At least it imports cleanly. Again, the import doesn't matter because we can just look at the original copy. So my questions are, is my resume what's holding me back? Yes. Yes, I can glance at it. Yes. How do I get past keyword filters and recruiter scans? Those are not a thing. I would recommend my guide. On my website, you will see a thing that looks like this. I know that's a very in there. Click on this. This is where you want to go. This will tell you what it's actually about. Please do that. That will fix a lot of your issues faster than I can explain in a video. But that's not how things work. Is it age bias? Probably not. No, I think it's your resume. So while age bias is a thing, I want to be very clear. There's a reason that law is there. It's mostly the fact is people that are older and they've been in the business for a while try to do what you did, which was fit literally everything into their resume, and it ends up meaning nothing. Also, you've doxed yourself, so I can't scroll past this page. So, well, again, I want to be clear. Age discrimination does exist. Most of the problem is due to resumes that look like this. And because the meta of how to apply for jobs has changed. Has the do-it-all expectation shifted so much that specialists get overlooked? No. Typically, do-it-all people are the ones that don't get the interviews. I know that my skills can translate type job. Could it be simply timing? I apply mostly through Indeed, LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, recruiting agencies, sites like Welcome to the Jungle? I have no idea what that one is. So maybe I'm not hitting in the right windows, even hit up networks. The problem... Okay, so there's a lot here. First off, and again, my guide covers this. I would highly recommend doing it. I honestly think it's my magnum opus, and it kind of describes things better than I can do verbally, but ATSs don't work like you think they work. They are filing cabinets. And you know how they sort you? First come, first serve. That's it. So if there is 100 people applying to a job and you are number 101, you will find that resume at 101. That's how it works. First come, first serve. So if you are busy tailoring your resume to every single job, what happens is by the time you finish tailoring, your resume is very unspecific because ChatGPT is garbage with it, which means we can't find what we need, and you're so far behind that even if by some miracle you did get it right with the right prompts, guess what? We're not going to see it. And because graphic design is in a terrible state right now, AI has actually really, really, really hit it hard. People are afraid of AI coming for their industries. Most of it is an overreaction, not graphic design. It has decimated it. So apply early and fast. If you are number 101, they may find who they need. Typically, if you're in the first 100, you'll probably get seen. So that is number one. Two is this is a nightmare to read. Some of the worst resumes I've seen in my life are, besides nurses, because that is different, nurses can get away with it because nursing is its own little thing, are graphic designers and marketers. And I think if people look deep through these videos, they will notice that every single resume that is a graphic designer or marketer is heads and tails worse than the others. So first off, you may be the best graphic designer ever. It still needs to look like this. Needs to look like this. Okay? It needs to be boring. Now, the exception to that is if you're applying for like a high-level leadership role, which I don't know if you are or not. So, what I'm looking for in a graphic designer is your degree. It's useful. You can get away with not having it, but ideally you would. Your portfolio. So, instead of LinkedIn at the top here, you would put your portfolio because that is more valuable. Adobe InDesign, Illustrator, Photoshop, Outlook, Microsoft Office, PowerPoint. The industry is going to matter again. Sports, entertainment, lifestyles, vlogging, VTubers, whatever. That you can meet tight deadlines while managing multiple projects. Cross-functional, typography, alignment, and hierarchy. Basically, like what you can do the right stuff with. And bonuses, graphic design, animation, multimedia, fine print, film studio, CGI, and modeling. That's kind of it. What I see here is nothing, but I'm going to try to find those in 20 seconds. And this is why you're getting rejected. So, award-winning... Okay, I'm not looking for this. Okay, I'm not looking for this. I'm not looking for this. I'm not looking for this. Okay, not looking for this. Okay, down here. Where am I going? Okay, led the packaging. Is this a leadership role? I don't know. Digital design. What? No. What is that? I don't know what that is. Amazon's nice, and I ran out of time. That's why you're getting rejected. Is I can't use anything that's here. I can't really use anything that's here. I can't use anything that's here. And then by the time I scroll down to here, I have 10 seconds. Now again, I can't scroll up, but I think I can scroll down on this resume a little bit, hopefully. Let's see, without doxing you. Nope, I can't scroll past this. This is as far as I can do. And then I get to here, and I'm not looking for... I mean, packaging? Maybe packaging. Packaging might be something I'm looking for. Digital design? Okay, but 200 gift sets? I don't know what this is. I don't know why thoughtful and man crates is useful. I don't know. You don't tell me. That's as far as I could go. And if you're looking, all I'm looking to say, used Adobe InDesign and Illustrator to create packaging and digital design for X and Y. That's what I'd be looking for. That's all I can find. That's it. That's all I found. That's why you're not getting it, is you tried to cram everything into it. Now, especially because you have 20 years of experience, it's also possible that maybe you're looking for like leadership roles, in which case you would need to put in a thing of like how you led. But this is all I got to. And I want to be clear, I kind of wish I did this video first so more people could see it, but that's it. When your resume looks like this, that is as far down as I can get. I saw the single line of your first thing, and because the formatting was so crazy, the only thing I could find was packaging and digital design. And that's like one qualification I'm looking for. That's all the time I have, because right now your industry is not doing well. And when your industry is terrible, that's it. That's all the time we get. And I could not find anything more than that. I would move to the next one. And people are going to be upset at me for saying this, but the fact is I could find a candidate. I could find a candidate for this. It's not going to be that difficult. That's the only time I have to dig through your resume. And the next candidate, yeah, maybe their resume is still garbage, but maybe I find these things and I can move them forward. So that's what's actually happening. Now, again, unless you're applying for a director role, but I don't think so because you didn't state director, this is what you need. It's basic and it's simple. You can look for yourself. Again, you might be confusing what they're actually looking for. So go to my website. Please look at my guide. It'll help you a lot. It's not age discrimination. It's your formatting primarily, and the fact that I can only get to here. That's it. That's all I have the time to do. I know you spent time on this. I know you tried to make this important and massive and great. It's not. It's a government form. It's a government form, and when you're done reading the government form, does it work? Yes, stamp approval. No, stamp reject. That's it. That's how much time we have. I really want to talk to the other recruiters who told you something differently, because are they agency, because they may not know what it's like internally. I've done both. So yeah, I would be very sus about those recruiters. But that's all I can do for this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I hope this was at least helpful. I'm trying not to be mean. I just want to be helpful. And, you know, if you need more help, you can join me on my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST till whenever work pulls me away, which sometimes 2 hours, sometimes 4 hours. It depends. And I will see you all in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search.